what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Holly and this is my booktube channel. By the time y'all are seeing this, it should be pretty close to St. Patrick's Day, so I've kind of got a bright green matcha latte here in honor of St. Patrick's Day, so I got my green. As I'm filming this, however, it is still Sunday the 12th, I want to say. So daylight savings just happened last night and I'm exhausted. So hopefully the caffeine in this matcha will get me going, and if I stumble over my words, just bear with me. I am very, very tired, as I'm sure a lot of you are. We're probably going to take a couple weeks to adjust to the time change. So let's just jump into this video. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing a cozy mystery haul with you guys. There's a few that I've acquired over the last several weeks. A few weeks ago, I was in San Antonio, Texas for a legal conference, and you know, of course, I had to visit Half Price Books because we don't have one in my small town. So while I was there, I picked up quite a few cozy mysteries, and then I even unexpectedly acquired a few more just a couple days ago, but I'll tell you all about that when we get there. As good as this is, I'm gonna have to set it down if I want to hold the book. So it's always so hard to let go of caffeine when you're tired. You just get like a death grip on it, but it's okay, we can put it down. So the first book that I have to share with you is called Death by Coffee by Alex Erickson. This one looks really good. It is the first in the Bookstore Cafe mystery series, and obviously since it's the first, I have not read any in this series, but it seems like, I think the main character Chrissy and maybe her sister, her best friend Vicky, they decide to open a bookstore called Death by Coffee. And the back says that the name of this bookstore, Death by Coffee, is after Chrissy's father's famous mystery novel. That was the title of his famous mystery novel. So I love that aspect of it. And of course, as a cozy mystery goes, it seems like there's this character named Brendan who isn't very well liked. He drinks some coffee at her bookstore and ends up dying. Apparently he had a severe allergy to peanuts and there was nuts in his coffee. So Chrissy has to go about solving who did it and who put nuts in his coffee and who stole his allergy medication, apparently. So it also says that she needs to figure it out in order to save her new store. Typical cozy mystery type of story, nothing, you know, earth-shattering as far as the plot goes, but that's what's comforting about cozy mysteries. You know how the pace is going to go, you know how the plot's going to go, and you can just enjoy the ride and try to figure out who the killer is. So there you have it. That is Death by Coffee by Alex Erickson. This next book I was really excited to get my hands on. I've been looking for it everywhere, so that's why I was so excited to go to Half Price Books, because they typically have books that are harder to find in other stores. And this one is called Candy Apple Dead by Sammy Carter. This is, I think, book one in the Candy Shop Mystery series, and this was kind of a cover buy for me. I got really sucked in with that cover. I hope y'all can see it. I hope it's not blurry, but look at that. I mean, I love all things Halloween, and this just kind of screams Halloween to me. And like there's a little skull in the caramel apple. I'm just look at it. So we're following the main character, Abby Shaw. She inherited this candy shop when her aunt passed away, and it says that she inherited this and with it, the opportunity to leave her career as a corporate lawyer and dump her cheating husband. So that's probably also what, you know, piqued my interest. She's a former corporate lawyer going to run a candy shop. Total Hallmark, you know, plot line. But, you know, anytime there's a character that's a lawyer, I'm like, sign me up. So I'm in. So apparently there's this guy that asks her out on a date, and he's supposed to meet up with her, but he never shows up for their date. And she finds out that his store that he owns was destroyed in a fire, and his body is found in the rubble. So apparently Abby finds out that very few people in the town are sad about this guy dying. And she's thinking, what in the world? He seemed kind of sweet to me. So seems like this was not a very well-liked guy. So of course she has to go about trying to solve who killed him, and I think one of her brothers is like a suspect somehow, so I don't know. Former lawyer, now owns a candy shop. The cover is just awesome to look at. I don't need to know a whole lot more than that. There you have it. That is Candy Apple Dead by Sammy Carter. The next book I have for you is called It Takes Two to Mango by Carrie Doyle. I've seen a lot of people on BookTube talk about this one, and I think it's fairly new. I think it came out pretty recently, and it is the first book in the Trouble in Paradise series, I think it's called. Yes, this came out in 2021, so has not been out very long, and apparently you're following the main character named Plum. It's a very interesting name, but her name is Plum, and she had a job as a travel magazine editor. Apparently she gets fired, there's some corporate cuts, and she decides, you know what, I'm tired of New York, I don't want to live here anymore, and she accepts a job as a villa broker in the Caribbean island. I think I'd sign up too. Can't really blame her. So apparently in the Caribbean, she manages a property called Casa Mango, and a client is found dead in the jacuzzi. So now she's really in a jam, and there's some killer loose on this island, and it's probably a pretty small island, so he's probably not far. And she has to deal with the police, the clues, and apparently a handsome director of security to try to solve the case. Sounds like a good time to me, especially with spring and summer around the corner. I could use a cozy mystery on the beach in the Caribbean. Just sign me up. Sign me up. I'm ready. There you have it. That is It Takes Two to Mango by Carrie Doyle. This next book looks really fun. This one is called Brownies and Broomsticks by Bailey Cates. This is the first in the Magical Bakery mystery series, which I love anything to deal with magic, Halloween, witches. I have been a sucker for all of that stuff since I was a teeny tiny little girl, so automatically the title sucked me in. So apparently our main character is named Katie, and she has an Aunt Lucy and an Uncle Ben that open a bakery in Savannah downtown, I guess Savannah, Georgia. So they invite her to join them, and she's really tired of being the assistant manager at a bakery up in Ohio, so she says, yes, sign me up, I'm coming. So she starts working at this bakery with her aunt, and she starts noticing that her aunt is adding some mysterious herbs to all of these recipes and all of these bakery items. And at first, Katie's thinking maybe it's just some sort of secret recipe, but then she starts to notice that these herbs are actually enchantments and spells, and that her aunt is actually magical. And of course, as cozy mystery goes, there's this grumpy customer that ends up dead right next to the bakery, and her Uncle Ben becomes the prime suspect for some reason. And the back says that with the help of a handsome journalist, a charming firefighter, and a few spells, Katie and her Aunt Lucy will need to stir up some toil and trouble to clear Ben's name and find the real killer. So you've got a magical bakery, a handsome firefighter. Those of you that don't know, I'm married to a handsome firefighter, so that piqued my interest. I'm in. It sounds like a good time. It sounds like something that might be good to read around Halloween or anytime really. So there you have it. That is Brownies and Broomsticks by Bailey Cates. And the last one that I got at Half Price Books is one that I was so excited to find, and it's called Left for Dead by J.M. Griffin, and there's a little bunny on the cover. If you don't know this about me, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on my channel. I actually have 2 rabbits. I have 2 dogs, yes, but I also have 2 rabbits, and one of my rabbits looks just like this one. She's black and white, and her name is Scarlett O'Hara. Hair spelled like the rabbit hair. I crack myself up, but that's her name. Her name is Scarlett O'Hara. Okay, anyway, so obviously this one piqued my interest because you don't often see a rabbit as the main animal character. Most cozy mysteries, the main character has like a little animal friend that follows them around, but it's usually like a cat or a dog or something like that. You very rarely see a rabbit, so I thought that was unique. So the main character is named Jules, and she has a rehabilitation center for injured and abused rabbits, and she has a really special relationship with one of the rabbits, which I expect is the one on the cover. Apparently, Bun is the name of the rabbit, and this rabbit has telepathic abilities. She's able to communicate with this rabbit through telepathy. So that's a really interesting twist to a cozy mystery. They don't often get to talk to their animals, but apparently in this one she does. And then it says on a particularly frigid March morning, the bunny, her rabbit, spots a body, a dead body, and apparently they identify the body, and Jules knew this guy through some sort of party circuit they used to be in. He used to do like magic tricks, and she had like a educational rabbit petting zoo kind of thing, so they knew each other in those type of circles. And of course, as you might expect, Jules and her little sidekick, the rabbit, have to try to figure out who killed this guy. And it says that their investigation leads them down a rabbit hole of more suspects and lies while a killer sets a trap for them. So you can tell it's the same kind of cheesy, cozy mystery plot, but it's interesting. It's a little bit different. You've got this rabbit that can communicate through telepathy, and apparently a killer is also after them. That doesn't always happen in cozy mysteries. The killer usually isn't after the main character as well. Usually they can get entangled in the investigation in some way, but typically the killer isn't after them too. So that's a unique twist, and it says that it takes place in March, so maybe I'll throw this one into my March reading if I get around to it. There you have it. That is Left for Dead by J.M. Griffin. Oh, and before I put this one down, I just wanted y'all to appreciate the cover art. That tomato looks like it's got blood coming out of it, and the bowl of salad has like a graveyard on it. How cool is that? I love cozy mystery cover art. It is usually so cool. Just thought that was neat. This next book I think counts as a cozy mystery. I got it as an add-on to my book of the month. The book of the month I did get was called Lone Women. Y'all may have seen it. It's one of their horror releases that came out for March, and I chose this one as an add-on, and that is Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. I have a confession to make. I have never read an Agatha Christie. There, I said it. Don't come for me. I'm admitting it. I'm admitting my faults, and we're gonna do better, okay? We're gonna start here. So apparently this is a really good one, a really famous novel of hers, and I mean, the cover sucked me in for sure. It looks super summery and fun, and I love Egypt. That's one of my other interests. I am obsessed with ancient Egypt, so I'm kind of excited to see what this one's about. The synopsis says that the tranquility of a luxury cruise along the Nile was shattered by the discovery that Lynette Ridgway had been shot through the head. She was young, stylish, and beautiful, a girl who had everything until she lost her life. Hercule Poirot, I have just butchered the French language, but we're going with that, recalled an earlier outburst by a fellow passenger. I'd like to put my dear little pistol against her head and just press the trigger. Yet under the searing heat of the Egyptian sun, nothing is ever quite what it seems. A sweeping mystery of love, jealousy, and betrayal, Death on the Nile is among Christie's most legendary and timeless works. So if you've read it, you probably know how famous this book is, and if you haven't, you've probably at least heard of it. I know I have. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Pretty sure it's a movie now, so, you know, I figured this would be a great Agatha Christie to start with. So there you have it. That is Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. And speaking of Agatha Christie, at my work, at the building that I work at, for some reason in our, there's like a big break room that the whole building can share, And I don't know who it is yet. I haven't been able to figure out which person in the building is doing this, but someone keeps leaving books in the break room for people to just take for free. I guess they're books that maybe this person doesn't want anymore and they're just saying, free, take them. And they always leave a little sign that says, free, take. And usually it's nothing that I'm particularly interested in, but I was walking by the break room the other day and halted in my tracks because I saw a certain name, and every book on the table was an Agatha Christie book. So I scooped up every book on that table and took them home with me. So I got 7 Agatha Christie books for free. I'm excited. Let me show you what they are. So we have The Secret of Chimneys. I don't really know what that one's about, but it looks interesting. This one, And Then There Were None. I think this is a super famous one. This might even be like one of the first books she ever wrote. I'd have to look, but I think this one's pretty famous, so I'm excited to have found that one as well. We also have The Murder on the Links. It looks like kind of golf themed. I don't know. I don't really know much about this one either. Like I said, I just found these in the break room for free, so I don't really judge free books very harshly. You just grab them and go. This one is called The Body in the Library. Looks pretty good to me. The next one is called The Clocks. Another one. I don't know anything about these. Like I said, confession, never read Agatha Christie, but I'm trying to get into it because everyone speaks very highly of her, so not sure what The Clocks is about, but looks good to me. This one looks good if you know anything about me. This one is called Black Coffee. I mean, anything coffee in the title, I'm all about it. And I love the little detective drinking coffee. I love that. So this one's kind of a bigger book. Usually hers are kind of small, but this one looks pretty good too. And lastly, there's this big chunky book called, it's just Agatha Christie 5 Classic Murder Mysteries. So I guess it's 5 different mysteries all in one book. You have The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, The Secret Adversary. I can't talk today, y'all. I told you how tired I was. It's Adversary. Bear with me. The Boomerang Clue, The Moving Finger, and Death Comes as the End. So I guess 5 different of her stories with some pretty awesome cover art there. I'm not gonna complain. So technically I thought I only got like 6 or 7, but I guess there's 5 in here, so I scored big time this week. Bunch of free Agatha Christie's. You can't beat that. So there you have it. Those are all the cozy mysteries that I have acquired recently that I had to share with y'all. Let me know if you've read any of them and if you enjoyed them. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and that you are recovering from the loss of an hour of sleep. I know I'm struggling a bit. This video might have been all over the place, but you know what? This is also real life, so we're just rolling with it. I hope y'all have a great week. I hope you have a great St. Patrick's Day. Stay safe if you go out drinking, have fun, but stay safe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.